Well, the kicker, Brandon Aubrey, is out to get this one started. And we are underway from Commanders Field. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. So here are the Commanders making their way out. Leading them out, their young quarterback, the rookie from LSU.
If you ask coaches at any level to design their ideal leader of a team, I think they're going to check every box with this guy. He's got the poise to handle responsibility. He stays calm under any kind of pressure, and he brings out the best of his teammates each and every week.
Open man is Noah Brown. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. That's probably as simple of a throw as he'll have all game.
And good for everyone. Good for his completion percentage. Good for the receptions for the receivers. But you know how they work on that. They have footballs with no laces. So that as soon as you get the snap, you're just throwing the football. All right? You're not trying to find the laces and grip it a certain way. That takes time. Just get the ball and throw it. So that's how they practice it all the time now, too.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
Robinson will try to pick it up. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down. 3 yards in the wrong direction. So much for picking it up on the ground on 3rd down. 3rd play of the drive, and this defense showing strong early.
I wonder how much of that was scouting. I wonder how much of that was a gut feeling like, okay, let's just go ahead and sell out here and get after them, thinking they're going to run the football and stuff them early, because they've now set the tone. They've set a precedent right here that if you're going to try and run the ball against us, it could be hard going throughout this game.
It's a 40-yard punt, 6 yards on the return, and the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Time for Dak Prescott and the Dallas offense to go to work. Prescott, of course, the former 4th-round pick in 2016 out of Mississippi State.
And how about the toughness of Dak Prescott? We see it all the time on the field. And remember when he had that serious ankle injury, would he return to form? Boy, did he ever. And he was better than ever, and that's great for the NFL. Terrific resilience, playing at a high level, capable of winning a championship with his arm and his legs.
And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
Now 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line. Prescott. Pass complete. George Pickens with it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
On 1st down, it's Blue. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
They go again with Blue. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. 13 yards and a 1st down, Cowboys. There was a little space there, yes, but that was a well-executed run by the rookie.
It was, and he wasn't one of the higher-rated rookie running backs coming out. He's probably on the next tier. But let me tell you something. If he becomes more consistent and continues to have that drive to be one of the best, we'll see more of that in the future.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
They'll try to throw now. Prescott. A short one there taken in by Ferguson. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
On play action, Prescott. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
Here's 2nd and 10. Prescott from the gun. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Oh, and the hard count might have got him. This might be a first down. Defensively, maybe a little too fired up there for a 3rd down stop.
Remember in preseason when we were going to camps and watching people, they worked on this, right? In the heat of the summer,
Still did it
anyway.
So now then the penalties got him set up with a 1st and goal. Now a toss, left side, it's Blue. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Cowboys will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. And that caps off what was really a balanced opening drive for them, Charles. They work in the rushing game and the aerial attack, and they end it with a touchdown.
Strong in so many ways, wasn't it, partner? Their ability to throw it and run it and accomplish their goal, they've got to like the way that they started this ball game.
Brandon Aubrey now for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-0 Cowboys. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
Do you almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
They went 3-and-out on their first drive. Things already looking better here. 1st and 10.
Yeah, that's a nice pickup there, especially when it comes on the heels of a 3-and-out the first time you have the ball. They were determined to not have that happen again, and that's a nice throw for their first down of the game.
Quick slant to Brown. So the completion good for 7 there, and it'll be 2nd down. That was a lightning-fast decision that time. He just caught it and got rid of it.
Because he saw his guy was going to be open immediately, so he took the R, the run, out of the play. He took the O, the option, out of the play, and immediately got to the pass.
Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's 2nd and 3. And he is across midfield from one 49 to the other 49, a gain of just 2.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. And he's going to have a Commander's first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1. Zero hesitation that time. That was get ball, throw ball.
Yeah, it turned into a smoke route. If you see the coverage off the receiver, doesn't matter whether you call it a run or not. Just take the ball, get it out to him.
Off the play fake, Daniels. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Robinson up the middle. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. It's a gain of 3, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, obviously they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead now, they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down. A tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That is caught. Down inside the 10, and finally taken down at the 4-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. When they're lined up in the 46 defense like that, running is just going to be a slog.
Especially if you're trying to run it in the middle of the defense. So what you're hoping, get a stalemate against the 3 across the front, and can you get some one-on-one blocks that you can win on the perimeter? To me, that's the best place to carry the football.
Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. Touchdown, Washington. 4 yards on the touchdown grab. And the Commanders are an extra point away from evening this one up. Well, with this rookie QB, we talk a lot about his ball placement and how good he can be at laying it right in there. I think we just saw, Charles, though, the strength of that arm. That was an absolute rifle for the completed touchdown.
It absolutely was, and let's face it, you think he was really ready to get that first touchdown? Absolutely. He threw that pass with authority, just as you described. Big-time arm right there, and let's face it, a lot of quarterbacks used to be pitchers in baseball. The fastball was usually their best pitch, and we saw it there.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game, even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Blue on the toss. And he'll be tackled at about the 35.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. They need 2. Here's third down. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Give him the third down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
And this is one of those plays that if you can use it to keep the chains moving, it's a good play. And not only that, it tends to tamp down the pass rushers because they have to recognize this play and stay at home. The quarterback uses it well. Read option, keeps it, and picks up a first down with some nice running.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Over the middle, hauled in by Lamb. And he will cover up as he's touched down after a short gain. Seven, our score after 1. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession as they've got it 2nd down and 11. Off the play fake, Prescott. Another one to CeeDee Lamb. He's got it. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 35. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, his team gets a chance to cash in over these next few plays.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. He'll find Lamb. That's complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Handoff, Blue running right. And he's going to be met at about the 43. 2 yards on the pickup. It'll be 2nd down.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. He finds his man, complete. It's Ferguson. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
They've definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well. And big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
Prescott to throw it. He finds his man, complete. It's Ferguson. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A good-looking drive for the Cowboys so far. It's a first down.
How about a nod to the sequence of plays they're putting together here? This has been death by 1,000 paper cuts on this drive. But this is one of their best plays yet, and they're able to move it down into the red zone.
Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
2nd and 10. They'll run up the middle here with Blue. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 44 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Some good strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
They'll look to make it 3 for 3 on third down conversions. They need a yard here. They'll try and run again with Blue. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This would be a critical call.
The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. They run for it. Here's Blue. And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Cowboys' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. So they only needed a couple of feet there on 4th down, but they got more than that and then some as he takes this into the end zone.
And I love your description right there, right? 4th and short. They got that. No problem. Let's go ahead and get the rest of it. Finish it off in the end zone. Touchdown. Everyone goes away happy on that one.
Aubrey now for the PAT. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So that drive spans 13 plays. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. Well, now how about this return? And able to return this one all the way out to the other side of the field across the 50. Out is their quarterback with this offense to take over once more. He had the short touchdown pass on their previous drive, and they'll begin again here on 1st and 10.
Partner, when I was in college, we used to have these things called game maxims that we did before every game. One of them said, press the kicking game. For here's where the breaks are made. It's the area of hidden yardage. How about that return? Flipping the field, taking it past the 50, and getting things set up to start the series.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while, get at least 2 first downs, give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
From the 41, this is 2nd and a yard. Play action, now it's Daniels. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. But prior to that, he had hit his first 6 passes to start the game, so on a nice little run to begin.
It feels like this offense has carried its dress rehearsal into the game. You know, because you do practice it, you do go through it, and in this case, it is clicking exactly like they drew it up.
On 3rd down, Robinson. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line.
I like this focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need 1. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Back to Robinson now on 1st down. Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. That's on the former first-rounder from Ole Miss, Laramie Tunsil. Here's Daniels. Open man is Samuel, complete. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
To the air goes Daniels. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. This will wind up a loss on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
The whole idea of the screen pass is to fool the defense in a big way and create a big play.
They weren't fooled.
Not 1 second, not one bit. How about them figuring it out, diagnosing it, and spilling it for lost yardage?
Tress Way on 4th down is sent out to punt. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been effective so far, over the 40-yard mark here in the 2nd quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
Throwing, Prescott. Open man, right side, it's Lamb. And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
They go with blue between the tackles. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Looking to throw. Prescott. A throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
And the Cowboys going to bring on Brian Anger to punt on 4th down. This is brought in at the 21. It'll go as a 50-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Another drive coming up for this Washington offense. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Now that's the way you want to start a drive. Talk about a tone setter as well as a playbook opener. Now if you want to take a big shot over the top, you're all positioned to do so.
From the 35, here's 2nd and 2. They go play action. Daniels. Open man is the tight end, John Bates. Now we get a stoppage because, as you can see, a member of the Commanders in some obvious discomfort. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. To throw is Daniels. Slant route connects with Deebo Samuel. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's second down.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Now Daniels going to give it up on the touch pass. And he'll be brought down right on the 50, a gain of 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Hand off to Robinson out of the shotgun. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. That one goes for 8 yards.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
Robinson with another carry. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter. 14-7. Second down and a yard. Daniels looking to throw. And this will be incomplete.
I tell you what, that's a veteran play from a guy in his first season in the NFL. A lot of rookies are trying to force something there. He thought better of it, and that was the right decision.
This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. Now Daniels. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he takes it in for a Commanders touchdown. Terry McLaurin. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Commanders are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. Only the 2 catches for him thus far, CD, but both of them have resulted in touchdowns.
And I think he's on the bench right now, Brandon, smiling at his position coach and telling him, all those times you talked to us about efficiency, I'm living it right now.
Here's Gay now to add the extra point. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it's finished off by a Terry McLaurin touchdown. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Dallas offense set for this next drive. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Prescott now. The short one there taken in by Ferguson. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that's going to bring up second down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
He's got this to Pickens. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. To throw is Prescott. All the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second. Defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
Now Prescott. Left side to Lamb. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. Now Prescott. And he'll only get this to about the 44 as they stop him short of the line to gain. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still 4th down.
That looked great when he first took off because in my mind, there was room to run and he had the marker in his sight. But I certainly didn't expect him to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now that forced him to make a decision with this 4th down call.
And that one will be no good. He never had it on line. It's well wide to the left. So we've hit halftime all even at 14 apiece. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
We thought this one would be a close battle coming in, and we have not been disappointed. They're all even to this point. This has the feeling of a game that could go right down to the wire. One mistake or one big play could turn out to be the difference.
And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as he'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic. No need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
They begin with a carry for Blue. He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Now 2nd and 3. Now a shotgun handoff, Blue. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
But you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. On 3rd and short, they'll try option left. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The decision to keep it turns out to be a good one. 11 yards in the first down. Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. They're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender. But the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
2 yards to go, second down. Toss play to the right to Blue. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 34-yard line.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Play fake. Here's Prescott. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
Nice progress down the field, was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Now a 2nd and 10. Prescott. The short one there, taken in by Ferguson. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Prescott yet again. Throw left side complete. That's Lamb. And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be 2nd down. They hand it off. It's Blue. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Yeah, the Cowboys are going to be set up with a 1st and goal as they get the conversion there on 3rd and inches.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Tried to go draw play out of the gun down here.
Yeah, they tried to spread things out, didn't they? They wanted to move people away from the center of the field, away from the line of scrimmage near the ball, so that the runner could find some space. Unsuccessfully, though.
Now they'll toss it here to Blue. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
This Washington defense, they've stood tall the first 2 plays. Now 3rd and goal. Williams. And a nice job to break free of 1 tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave them with some options here on 4th and inches. Offensively, not what they wanted there, but hey, you can kick the field goal here and take the lead.
Felt like a little bit of a statement stop, didn't it? You know, made a big play right there. Okay, guess what? Ball's in your court, guys. What are you going to do? Myself, I kick the field goal, get the 3, and take the lead.
A field goal would break the tie, but look at this. Instead, they're going to go for it on 4th and goal. They'll run. This is Blue. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. It's a 1-yard touchdown run. And the Cowboys have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the second half. This defense held out as long as they could, but ultimately the running game wears them down from the 1-yard line.
And that gets set up throughout the entire drive, doesn't it? And when you put those big bodies and determination into that carry, the end result, touchdown.
Aubrey now for the point after. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. That drive, a long one, spanning 15 plays. And it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And time again to see Terry McLaurin in the Washington offense. Not a bad day at the office there. Maybe he would like the catch number to go up a little bit, but I think most guys would say 2 catches, 2 touchdowns. That's okay.
I think if the catch number goes up, we start talking about the record books, because at that pace, this type of efficiency, oh yeah, I think I'd throw it to him a little bit more often.
Now Daniel's going to give it up on the touch pass. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. From the 29, here's a 2nd and 7. Robinson gets the toss on the right side. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end, in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
And he's going to have a Commanders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Give to Robinson on the option. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle, because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
Working out of the gun, Daniels. Out route, and it's complete to Brown. They'll give him 4 yards there. And now we've got a 3rd and 3. Throwing now is Daniels. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to have a Commanders first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Quick slant to Brown. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it's second down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on third down. They'll look to throw again. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 12-yard line. That third down conversion good for 23.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on third down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Throw left side. McCaffrey's got it. And he'll score. Touchdown, Commanders. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Commanders have a chance to tie the ball game here in the final minute of the third.
And remember, partner, that's a rookie quarterback back there. Apparently, he's getting the hang of this NFL thing pretty quickly.
Had 3 touchdown passes. You're right. He looks comfortable. What are they doing? Anything in particular?
Well, they keep talking about making sure they're giving him plays that fit his talents and also maybe shrinking the playbook a little bit. They did tell us that. Bottom line, he's really good.
Gay is on for the point after. He's got it, and we're all tied at 21. So the drive goes 75 yards, 10 plays. And it was polished off by a Washington touchdown. So all square here in this third quarter as the kick's away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Cowboys offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And as we take a look at some of the highlights, we see just how impactful he's been. He and his quarterback have such a great chemistry together, and it's been on full display throughout the contest. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And their lead has evaporated in this third quarter. It's tied once more as they begin with a 1st and 10. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
After another impressive run, the question has to be asked, how do you slow these guys down running the football? I think they're going to try and get more people to the point of attack, try and get more people to the line of scrimmage, almost use a variety of run blitzes in order to try and get it done.
Off the play fake, Prescott. A quick throw there is incomplete.
And in the second half of a tie game, every decision gets magnified. And here, if he forces this ball, it could be intercepted. So that's the prudent play to just airmail it out of bounds.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. On the ground, Lipke. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Commanders Field. All even as we get ready to start the fourth. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Dak on the option left. And he'll get this up to about the 40. It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's 2nd down.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it. And while he didn't get a first down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
Out of the gun, they run with Blue. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 75 yards for him on the ground now, and 3 touchdowns to go along with it.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And he carries this one past the midfield stripe and into Commander territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
From the 48-yard line, here's the 2nd down and 4. They go again with Blue. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
A field goal from this spot likely out of the question. They've got to get closer here on 3rd down. They'll try to run for it with Blue. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. They'll try to throw now. Prescott. Pickens is there on the crossing route. And he's taken down inside the 30. Give him 15 there, and the Cowboys have a first. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Play action now. Prescott. Rush coming, and he's taken down. They overload him that time with a safety blitz, and he winds up being dropped for a loss of 7.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was a strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. They'll run up the middle here with Blue. And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28. Able to pick up a healthy chunk of yards, 7-yard gain, but a tough 3rd and 9 upcoming.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
A good job in coverage there. They took away his top read on the play, so he went through his progressions and ended up settling on his running back who scored on their last possession, but the coverage held. It goes incomplete.
So a big one coming here for Brandon Aubrey. This to break our 4th quarter tie. And this one is right down the middle. And they have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
So after the made field goal, back out is Aubrey to kick this away. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Commanders' offense and Jaden Daniels getting set for this next possession. And we'll take you through some of the highlights here. You'll notice he had a hand in a lot of them so far. He's got this offense rolling right now. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this fourth quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. DeMarvion Overshown, the one to bring him down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
On second down, another shot for Robinson. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a third and about 4.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
The offense on third down tonight, they've been tough to stop. 8 for 10 so far. This is 3rd and 4. That is caught, and they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Here's Daniels. This will be caught once again by Brown. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that'll bring up second down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
To the air goes Daniels. And that's complete to McCaffrey. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people who have to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Now we've got whistles here before the snap, and I believe this is going to be on Washington. The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. A false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. A give to Robinson on the option. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a first down if not for that penalty moments ago. That was huge after being behind the chains on first down to make this second very manageable.
Yeah, how much pride do you have in an offense on first down to get that kind of yardage? Because it actually opens up your playbook on second down. You can run it, you can throw it, you keep a defense off balance. I like that phrase, staying ahead of the chains, and they're doing exactly that.
And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard, stop short of the 35. If they get nothing else here on third down, it'd be a 53-yard attempt from this spot. To throw is Daniels. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to have a Commander's first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Daniels looking to throw. And he's got McCaffrey open, complete. What a methodical drive this is turning out to be. That time 9 yards, and the sticks move again. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Now Daniels. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Just looking at it from a defensive perspective, when you break the huddle in the red zone, tight end is one of the guys you've got to key on because quarterbacks want the ball in their hands fast in this position, and they want to get it to someone. And in this case, he had the play. They just didn't complete it.
From the shotgun, it's Daniels. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
And this won't do it. He needed 6. He only got halfway there. So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back. And they've got a 4th down now in a game that, to be honest, has been pretty much everything we could have asked for. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Gay's kick is good. And we are all tied here in the final stages. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the 4th quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Cowboys offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on the ground to this point in the 4th quarter. This is 1st and 10. Now Prescott. And oh, that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
A short one there taken in by Ferguson. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete. Couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You're having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
Here's Dak. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete.
That completion helps out in a nice way. Now they can take a little bit more time, but guess what? They've got to make sure on their throws that they see it open, not just anticipate it.
Well, this crowd doing their best to make a lot of racket. It's 3rd and 5. On to give, this is Blue. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with just 70 seconds left to go in the game. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This for the lead in the final stages. And his kick is good. And with a little over a minute to play, they have taken the lead. You talk about a big kick under pressure in the 4th quarter. I mean, that wasn't like a 33-yarder. That was long distance.
Not only does it show the faith that they have in him, but also remember, if they'd missed that one, they're giving up the ball near midfield, so they had to be very confident that he was going to put that one through the post.
So after the made field goal, back out is Aubrey to kick this away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Commanders' offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time. They'll come up 1st and 10 here. They'll look to throw. He's got McLaurin, and he's going to get out of bounds with the first down, so that's going to double their pleasure for sure. They get the first and save a timeout. He'll look to throw. Pass complete, Samuel. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Final minute, 1 timeout remaining. 1st and 10. Back to throw. Looking for the out route, and he's got it. It's complete to McCaffrey. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
It didn't check off every box, but the most important one. Got the clock stopped, getting out of bounds. They may be a little short of the first down, but I thought that was the key.
Now 2nd down and a few inches. He's back to throw. Hitting Samuel on the slant. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 28.
That's a nice job right there, partner, because they were able to work down the middle of the field, working in the seams, because I think defensively they were guarding the sidelines, trying to keep them from getting out of bounds. They took what they gave them, and it was successful.
Here's 1st and 10. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. There have been quite a few plays they might look back on and say, we really have hurt ourselves, and that was another example.
And this is late-game execution. Everything on the line, so it all has to come together properly. The throw's made. Where's the catch? Got to catch in that spot.
Out of the gun, they give to Robinson. Oh, no, he lost the football. And now this ball picked up by the offense. But here in the final 2 minutes of the game, this will be blown dead. Only the fumbler can advance the football. So this will go back to the spot of the fumble itself. Matt Gay now gets ready for the field goal try. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The Commander's going to bring out the field goal unit. This to potentially send us to overtime. And Gay knocks this one through. And that will tie this game here in the final minute of play. So in the final minute, they turn it over to their kicker to get him back to even, and he does not disappoint.
Brandon, do you think the pressure ever gets to this guy? Because I sure don't. That was pretty smooth right there. But I tell you, he better not rest on his laurels, because there's a good chance they may need him again if this game goes to overtime.
So now after the clutch field goal, he's back out there to boot it away in what's now a tie ball game. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Here's first down. Now flags fly in, and one of the Cowboys looked like he got going a little early. The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
Penalties not what they needed here. 1st and 15. On the carry, this is Blue. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. So 4 quarters wasn't enough, and we are off to overtime. Don't change that dial. So the first chance of this overtime will go to Washington as we are back underway. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want a drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants a drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
It's complete to Brown, right side. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
I think as he began this throw, you saw that the area was congested, but he has a lot of confidence in his arm, and he fits that one in there nicely. They pick up the catch, Not much yardage afterwards.
Opening drive of overtime. Both teams will get a possession, barring a defensive score. Here's second down. Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 81 yards for him on the ground now on 18 carries.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Off the play fake, Daniels. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
Here's second and 10. Throwing now is Daniels. Samuel bringing in the slant. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 41-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. They go back to that well. He's had a great game. Defensively, they haven't been able to stop him. Same thing here in overtime.
And sometimes that goes to the play caller's ego, because a lot of times you have so many different plays you want to call. But when you spot a matchup that's working for you or a player that has the hot hand, keep giving it to them. That tells me you're mature as a play caller, and it's working for them in overtime.
On first and 10, it's Robinson. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's third down.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Out of the gun now on third down. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
As we both know, there was a lot that went into why they made him their first-round pick this year, and part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
Off the option, here's Robinson. And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. He continues to be effective running the football, a big reason that they have the lead.
And I love one of the quotes that I read about him where he said of himself, "I love it when a team just hops on my back and I just carry them along."
Oh, here's a fake on the jet sweep and a give to Robinson. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
That's out to the left flat and complete. And this carry terminated at the 8-yard line. Good stick skill showing the power, but just not much room to operate. That'll go for a gain of 7. And it makes it third down and 2 yards to go. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Working out of the gun, Daniels. Forced out to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Micah Parsons showing off that elite athleticism as he gets the sack. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
Gay's kick is good, and they have regained the lead. So they do get the short field goal here to get them the all-important overtime lead. But, Charles, you wonder if they'll wind up ruining the fact that they were able to get down into the red zone, yet not able to find the touchdown that would have won them the game.
Brandon, you're absolutely right. In overtime, when you get the ball first, the hope is your opponents never see the football. But now they're going to get a drive to try and win it, or at least keep the game alive with a field goal. And I'm getting a dictionary out to look up ruin.
So only a field goal on that opening drive of overtime. Will that hold up? We'll find out as the kick's away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Well, it's pretty simple now. They need a field goal out of this drive to extend overtime, or obviously, Charles, a touchdown to win it.
Yeah, and I'm taking the defense's perspective on this one, partner, because now they know with a 3-point lead, they can afford to give that up because you just keep playing, right? Overtime gets extended. But if you give up the touchdown, it's game over. So on offense, every play you make, you've got to try and get just a little bit more out of each one in order to try and get to the end zone, because they're going to play everyone back, keep everything in front.
Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down. The pressure that time right up the middle, and he was able to wiggle in there pretty easily and get the sack.
Yeah, sometimes you end up getting caught in a little bit of a breakdown about who to block up front, and that creates the gap there, and he took full advantage, got to the quarterback, and finished off the sack.
Three points here are a must. A touchdown would win it. Here's second down. And what can Prescott do in the OT? Able to hit his target, Lamb. And he'll be knocked to the turf right there as he gets it up to the 43. Here's 3rd and 6. Prescott now. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48. With that catch, he goes over 100 yards receiving on the night. Back-to-back completions, and that puts them in enemy territory.
And we're always looking for that elusive term, momentum, aren't we? And I think they're building it with the back-to-back completions. Now they feel like they can either take a shot or continue to build it the way that they're doing now. Safe throws, get it to their playmakers, and see what happens.
So a little chunk there on first as they try to chip away down 3 in overtime.
I like your description. Chip away, down 3. You don't have to get it all in one big play, although obviously that would be nice. But there's no need to have that type of risk associated with it. Run your offense, get first downs, get yourself in a position where you know you're going to at least get 3 and keep this game going. If you get 6, so much the better.
And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 121 yards rushing for him now as he is just trying to will his guys to an overtime victory.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. Left side to Lamb. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one good for 20 on the catch and run. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. What they say, it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Now a toss left side, it's Blue. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Well, they're in range for a tying field goal, but surely they want the win. Here's second down. Play action now. Prescott. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Here's Prescott. He finds Pickens over the middle. And he's not quite going to get to the marker. It'll be a gain of 8 on 3rd and 10.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And Washington looking for another timeout, and they get it. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. So on 4th down, Prescott off, and on is Aubrey for the Cowboy field goal. And his kick is indeed good, and we are tied once again here in the overtime session. Both teams swapping field goals on their respective first drives of overtime, so now, you know the drill, it's on to old school sudden death.
Yeah, it sounds exciting, doesn't it? Can I be a little bit of Dennis Downer here, though? That drive, able to go that far, yet they had to kick the field goal to keep playing. You would have thought maybe could they punch it in and go ahead and end it?
We get more free football.
Oh, yeah, good point.
Come on.
I'm back up beat again. Forget the Downer stuff.
Will 3 points be enough to do it? We'll soon know as we continue here in overtime. And he won't quite make it to the 25. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. I cannot imagine how these players and coaches feel, Charles, because my palms sweating up here in the booth now as we go to the 3rd drive of overtime. And as we know from here on out, any points win this football game.
I'll throw you a towel as well, partner. I've got one for myself, but let's face it, our nerves, our pressure, nothing compared to what's going on that field. Both of the field goal kickers active here early. Can one of them become the hero and end this thing?
He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. To throw is Daniels. This to McLaurin out on the left side. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want there, get that space, catch the football, and then make a move and pick up extra yardage. And that's exactly what he got done there.
To the sideline and incomplete.
So many times we've seen him try to escape the pocket and do something with his legs, but in this case, the pressure was too intense and he made the wise choice to just get rid of the football and make sure no one was going to get it.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Now a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll instead run up the middle. And he appears to be about 2 feet short on 3rd and 3. Leaves him with a 4th and 1.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
Here's Tressway now. On for a very important punt here in overtime. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. The Cowboys about set to take over on offense. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
A short one there taken in by Ferguson. And that's not going to help a whole lot. Maybe 4 yards on first down. From the 23, here's the 2nd down and 6. Here's Prescott. Going right back to Ferguson. And he'll have a first down here up past the 30, but he's brought down in bounds. Now a timeout called for by the offense. That's their 2nd and last timeout here in the overtime session. We'll be back. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now Dak. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
And that's the knowledge you gain from being in this league for a long time. He's learned the hard way when to give up and fight another down. And that's a smart move to throw it away.
2nd and 10. Prescott. Here's one deep for Pickens. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Here's Dak. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
The frustration evident there because he couldn't find anyone on 3rd down, and he left no doubt that he was throwing that one away.
A big call here in overtime. They're going for it on 4th down. Now Prescott. He's going to float this one deep right side. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. 1 overtime. How about 2? We need another. We're still even. We'll switch sides and have that 2nd overtime in just a moment. They'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. Robinson up the middle. And he'll get this just inside the 30-yard line.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
On 2nd down, another shot for Robinson. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. On 3rd down, here's Eckler. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys, poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. Well, partner, you and I were excited for this one today, and certainly had its moments. Some good execution at times by both of these offenses. Defenses both made some plays as well, and always a joy to be up here in the booth next to you, my friend.
Yeah, it's a privilege to be up here in the booth next to you as well. Thanks for taking the time, and let's go ahead and get ready for our next one, right? I'll see you in the film room. Get that preparation started now.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Commanders pick up the victory as we say so long from our nation's capital.